It's from Foyle's Further Philavery. The letter G. Galactometer, a noun, an instrument for calculating the specific gravity of milk. Galleass or galleass, a noun, a vessel built like a galley but larger and heavier. Galligaskins, a plural noun, one wide hose or breeches worn in the 16th and 17th centuries. Two, leggings. Gallawasp, a noun, a West Indian lizard. Garbologist, a noun, one, facetious, a dustman, a rubbish collector. Two, a person who studies a society's waste materials in order to make deductions about the lifestyle of its people. Gardyloo, interjection, the old warning cry in Edinburgh and other cities before throwing slops out of the window into the street. A noun, the slops so thrown or the act of throwing. This is apparently from the would-be French gardyloo, for garlot meaning beware of the water, a euphemism for the contents of the chamber pots in question. Gasconism, a noun, boastfulness. This comes from Gascon, which, as well as meaning a person from Gascony, can mean a braggart or boaster. Hence, Gasconism is boastfulness. We must assume that the natives of Gascony had a reputation in the 18th century for bragging, rather like Texans have in the US nowadays. Gyromancy, a noun. One, divination by sounds from the belly, i.e. ventriloquism. Two, divination by large-bellied glasses. Perhaps the government could use this as a new method of economic forecasting. Corpus, a noun, a silly person. Geggery, or perhaps jeggery, I'm not sure, Geggery, a noun from the Scottish trickery. Gemütlich, an adjective. One, amiable. Two, comfort. Chris, that should be familiar to you, Gemütlichkeit. Number three, cozy. This German adjective and its related noun, Gemütlichkeit, means kindness, comfort, or coziness, and they are just two of a number of words from that language that have been taken into English without alteration. Others include Schadenfreude, Zeitgeist, Wanderlust, Realpolitik, Angst, Doppelgänger, and Leitmotiv. Genethliac, an adjective, relating to a birthday or to the casting of horoscopes. Gentoo, a noun. One, an Falkland Island penguin. Two, a speaker of Telugu, an Indian language. Three, a non-Christian from India, a Hindu. Derived from Portuguese gentio, meaning a Gentile. It is unclear how the name came to apply to the penguin. Gerund grinder, noun, a pedantic teacher. Ginglimus, a noun, a joint that permits movement in one plane only, a hinge joint. This word can be pronounced jinglimus or ginglimus, with the stress on the first syllable. Gurn, a verb. One, to snarl. Two, to grimace, make a grotesque face. Three, to complain peevishly. There was a wonderful photograph in the press recently of gurning champion Tommy Mattinson pulling his most ridiculous face in front of the Queen. Her reaction was a wonder to behold. I suspect her sense of humour was lurking and she was fighting the desire to burst into a winning gurn of her own. Glabrous, an adjective, hairless, smooth. Glakit or glycate, short, Glaikit, an adjective meaning foolish, stupid, or daft. Glamping, well, we know what that is. It's a noun, a form of glamorous camping that involves a top-of-the-range designer tent, luxury equipment, and fine food and wine. Glassite, a follower of John Glass, 1695 to 1773, who was deposed in 1728 from the ministry of the Church of Scotland for maintaining that a congregation with its eldership is, in its discipline, subject to no jurisdiction but that of Jesus Christ. The Glassites were also known as Sandemanians, after John Glass's son-in-law Robert Sandeman, who developed much of the sect's doctrine. Glimmergowk, a noun, an owl. Glister, a verb, to sparkle or glitter. This word appears in the correct version of one of the most misquoted lines in English literature, The Merchant of Venice, Act 2, Scene 7. All that glisters is not gold. Often you have heard that told. The correct version reads glisters, not glitters. I don't know how to pronounce this. Globigerina, Globigerina, a noun. A minute marine invertebrate of the genus Globigerina, I don't know, with a shell of globe-shaped chambers in a spiral, to a shell of this type. Globish, a noun, a simplified version of English spoken by many non-native speakers, comprising only the most basic words and phrases. Globophobia, a morbid fear of balloons. Glurge, a noun, a mawkishly sentimental story circulated by email, the accuracy of which is dubious. Glyptic, an adjective relating to carving, especially gem carving. Nathic, I'm assuming with a silent G, an adjective relating to the jaws. I don't know, this is French, I'm not fluent or familiar with a lot of French. Gobemouche, Gobemouches. 1. A flycatcher. 2. An insectivorous plant. 3. A credulous person. This word comes from the French gober, I don't know, meaning to swallow, and mouche, meaning a fly. The third sense presumably developed from the idea that a credulous person will listen to any old rubbish in open-mouthed belief. Goliard, a noun. Any of a band of medieval wandering students and scholars noted for their riotous behaviour, and especially their satirical Latin poems lampooning the church, most of which were accredited to a mythical Bishop Goliath. Voluptuous, an adjective. Delicious, voluptuous. Congoozler, a noun. An idle observer, especially one who watches the activity on a canal. Another probably uniquely British hobby. I wonder if the Dutch do it. Gongfermor, a noun. In the Middle Ages, a person who cleans out privies at night and sells the waste as a fertilizer. Gong is another Middle English word for a privy, and fermor is a variant of farmer. If this sounds repulsive or ridiculous, remember that these days there is a thriving trade in tiger dung from zoos, which, it is claimed, keeps domestic cats at bay. Gorebelly, a noun. 1. A big belly. 2. A big-bellied person. Gordita, a noun. In Mexican cookery, a small, thick corn tortilla typically filled with chicken, vegetables, or meat. Grackle, a noun. 1. A minor or similar bird. 2. is dolphin. 2. A popular name for many whales, especially the killer. 3. Someone who breathes heavily and loudly, a puffer and a blower. That could be me. Graphomania, a noun, an obsession with writing. That could be some of you. Greet, a verb, to weep. The Anglo-Saxon word has died out in standard English, which is a shame. Nothing quite encapsulates the essence of a miserable, moaning child as beautifully as the popular Scots phrase, "a greeting face tween." The last assembly of a local council before an election is the greeting meeting. Gribble, a noun, a small marine isopod that bores into timber underwater. Grill bearer, a noun, one of a group of clergymen in the 1940s who used to haunt the stacks of the London Library to look up the skirts of women browsing above. I spotted a bookshop version of the grill bearer in Foyle's in the 1960s. His methods were slightly more advanced than his library-bound counterparts. He crouched low, appearing to study the books on a lower shelf close to a female browser, while conducting his real research using a mirror on the end of a stick. Grockle, a noun, derogatory, a tourist or incomer, especially in southwest England. Growlery, a noun, a retreat for times of ill humour. This is a marvellous word for a marvellous thing. Begone, I go to my growlery. Cuddle, a verb, to fish with the hands by groping under the stones or banks of a stream, or to dabble in or play messily with something liquid. As a noun, a mess, muddle, or confusion. Cuddling for trout is the same as standard English trout tickling. Goo, G-U-E, or G-U, or G-J-U, a noun, a kind of viol formerly played in Shetland. Cougar, a young gannet eaten as a delicacy, especially in the Hebrides. Gurgitator, a noun, a person who takes part in competitive eating contests. The organisation known as the IFOCE, International Federation of Competitive Eating, runs eating events worldwide. Generally, there is a time limit of about 15 minutes, during which the gurgitators have to consume as many or as much of the chosen food as possible. The 2007 record for hot dog eating was 66 with buns in 12 minutes. Do you want mustard with that? Gushel, a noun, a sudden prolonged gust of wind. And gyromancy, or perhaps gyromancy, Gyromancy, a noun, divination by walking in a circle and falling from giddiness. This must surely be the ultimate method of forecasting the fortunes of a British political party. There ends the letter G in Foyle's Further Philavery.